What does DeepSeek's new AI mean for the data center industry? Well, the short answer is that I have no f***ing idea, but I do have some thoughts on it. So if you haven't heard, a Chinese company called DeepSeek just released a new AI platform that they claim was done significantly cheaper than other AI models, yet it is already performing so well that Mark Andreessen described it as one of the most amazing and impressive breakthroughs he's ever seen. And DeepSeek also said that it only costs $5.6 million to train its latest model, whereas it costs anywhere from $100 million to $1 billion to train US-based models. If you just read those points, you might think that the AI industry is a bubble just waiting to be popped. And that's sort of what's going down today, as Nvidia's stock got hammered, as well as publicly traded companies that own data centers, such as Digital Realty and Equinix, seeing big drops as well. If DeepSeek was indeed able to make a competitive AI model at a fraction of the cost of what other companies are doing, then they presumably would have required fewer chips and less physical space in the form of data centers themselves. But there are some skeptics out there. The largest is Elon Musk, who believes that they had access to more chips than they're letting on. And of course, there's good reason to just be cynical about China in general, particularly when their privacy policy gives them the potential to get a lot of your data. And the $5.6 million cost they are claiming does not include any prior costs that they spent on research and testing. So we should all be treating it right now with that proverbial grain of salt. But even if we put DeepSeek to the side for right now, I believe the biggest risk to the data center industry is that we're adding a massive amount of new inventory based on today's technology. Go back to the early days of computers and imagine if we just started building huge industrial buildings, assuming we'd need room for all these vacuum tubes and resistors and wiring. And then fast forward to today when your cell phone is infinitely superior to that old technology. And with data centers, at some point down the road, there could be some technological breakthrough that could allow for greater computational power in a much smaller package. Perhaps that's 10 years away, or maybe it's right around the corner. And that doesn't even take into account another curveball, that all this might be opening doors for even more advanced AI modeling, and maybe this leads to demand for even more chips and more data center space. This is all just moving so fast that I think it's damn near impossible to make any meaningful predictions. I have a few points to wrap up on this though, and if you have anything to add, whether you agree or disagree or just have any comments, please put it below. First, I don't have the risk appetite for the volatility that could come with investing in data centers. I'm sure there's some investors out there who are fine with it, but just remember who the end users are. Companies like Amazon, Meta, and Google could shut down a data center at any point, and it could just be a rounding error for them. I think anyone who is working on developing or investing in data centers should be cautious, especially when factoring in the potential downside risk of simply having too much data center space at some point down the road. 2, I don't trust China. 3, I am not installing DeepSeek on any device. And last, 2025 is gonna be wild.
DeepSeek came in like a wrecking ball. Hey, I never hit ChatGPT so hard.